Hey guys, welcome to Exemplify. In this video, we will be seeing the syllabus of UGC NET 2026 and the paper 2, which is management. In this video, we will be covering almost every unit and what are all the topics that are more important and you cannot leave if you are attempting this paper. And for those who have already been preparing for a very long time with schedules and with notes, people for you in this video you will be finding some of the main topics. If you have not studied it, do concentrate on that, because the main topics which I have taken is mostly from the previous year question papers. So this syllabus overview for UGC net management will be beneficial for the new person as well as the person who has already been in the tier. So, first of all, the understanding of UGC NET plays a very big key in writing and cracking the exam. UGC wants to know that the candidate, whoever is attempting, should have a basic understanding of the subject whichever he is choosing. It is not about the facts alone. It is about the basic understanding of the subject. You can see most of the questions, there might not be factual, it might be basically the ordering, the understanding of the concept. Okay, so before starting the preparation, you should read in that way. I'm not saying that factual doesn't matter at all, but factual do matter, but factual along with the understanding you can ace with JRF. Okay, so in unit 1 is all about the first semester first paper, that is management principles, ethics and everything. So here the unit talks about the concept, processes, theories, approaches and every single thing. You should be very much careful about the management theories, and you should know about the basics of management, where we have that scientific management and previous things, the what are all the Hawthorne experiments that has been carried out, how management evolved, everything you need to be aware of it. Here the crux is regarding the Hawthorne studies, you should know about the facts as well as what was the outcome, whether the studies had any impact on employees or not. If at all it is not, what was the reason or what was the criticism that is being given. It seems to be a very big chapter, but trust me, that is very easy, and if you understand, you can easily ace that concept. And regarding the management roles, skills, planning, organizing, staffing, this is basically a very easy section where you have to have a basic understanding. That's all. You need not go beyond the basic understanding. Okay, so next is communication. We all know that communication plays a key role in paper 1 as well as paper 2. So if you have already read communication in paper 1, you can just like that skim in paper 2, or else read at least one communication perfectly, because nowadays UGC has been asking more questions on communication, especially with the social media and other digital influence are making more noises. Okay, so at least 2 or 3 questions you can expect from communication in either form, types or new medias, new forms. It can be in paper 1 or paper 2. Okay, next is decision making concepts. Decision making concepts, most probably you will have two kinds of decision making concepts here as well as in your operations management. That kind decision making, that is, you have project analysis, how the decision tree is being formed, everything. So you should be very careful in choosing, and you should be very careful, like the question is being asked from this side or that side. Again, it is easier concept. If you know the basics, you will be able to say this is from the management principles and that is from the operations or applied operations. Okay, next is organizational structure design, and here the main crux is you should be knowing the hierarchy level, flat organization, vertical organization, horizontal organization, what is centralization and decentralization, and especially line of control and span of control. We have that 14 principles. No, you should be by hearting that 14 principles, because that is a very easy question. If you have that question in your question paper, you will be getting at least 2 marks paka if you know that. Okay, so from the unit 1 we have that management principles, ethics, and other things, roles and skills. These are the main things that you need to concentrate. Apart from that, you should have a basic understanding of what is what. Okay, moving on to the managerial economics. Actually, basically I find managerial economics as a volatile subject. Every time I read, and I tend to forget. So I have a point, like I revisit the subject every week before the exam. If it is like I have studied 3 or 4 months before the exam, then I will revisit every week, because I can guarantee you at least 2 to 3 questions will be there from managerial economics, especially in the demand analysis, elasticity and forecasting, and again in the market structure. If not, you will get a question in national income or inflation, the concepts. So here it is not about the facts alone, it is here about the understanding, especially when it comes to market pricing, market structure, and market determination. You should be knowing about monopoly, oligopoly, and everything, what kind of market, where it will be surviving, monopolistic, what is the difference between monopoly and monopolistic. So these kind of differences you should be knowing. There will be one tabulation column. If you have studied or if you are preparing, you will be knowing about it. Again, there is another concept called MR, AR, long run, short run. These concepts are very easy, but they are volatile. So my personal opinion on this is, keep on revising it. You will get at least 2 to 3 questions. Either it will be a straightforward question, or else it will be a kind of analytical question. But if you know the concept, you can crack it. So managerial economics is I will say it is easy as well as volatile, and it is a definite subject that you need to study, and you cannot skip for if you are appearing for the exam. Next is value based organization, ethical issues. These and all you have to know what it is, and you can just have a basic understanding on that. Moving on, we have chapter unit 2, which is on significance, theories, and basically it's an organizational behavior chapter. In this, you should be knowing the main individual behavior, group behavior, and the transaction analysis and culture. In these kind of subjects, you should be knowing particularly the theories. We have multiple theories, leadership theories. We have 2 to 3 theories. Again, personality, we have a personality traits, that Mayer-Briggs Big Five. Those kind of things you have to know, and you should be knowing what is what, and what is the what you call the year, in which year they were proposed, is there any add-ons, also what was the criticism. And when it comes to personality and perception, how it affects the organization, we have the kind of stereotyping, halo effect, horn effect. These are the things that is associated with the personality perception. Again, these effects will be on the other side of SHRM. So you should be HRM. So you should be careful, and it's, trust me, it is very easy. It is purely subject wise. They don't go beyond the subject. If you have studied the subject, that's fine, and if you have a basic understanding, that's fine. Again, group behavior, group dynamics, it is always a straightforward questions. There won't be no inside meanings and all. As far as I have seen, mostly they will ask from theories, and in case of theories they will give an example and they will ask us to match the theory, and factual, like a chronological order of theory. And another thing is, they will be asking one theory and what are all the parts that constitute, like example, Hofde's climate culture is there, no, what are all the things constitute the Hofde's climate. That kind of questions will be there. Apart from that, there is no like a hidden or analytical or too manipulative questions we need not expect. Again, the same thing goes to the organizational structure, I mean organizational justice and whistleblowing. And here organizational justice is very important topic, and you can expect at least 2 or 3 questions from the organizational behavior, and at least 1 question in organizational justice. If they have asked in June 2024, they will be asking in December 2025. Again, after 2 or 3 exams they will be keep on asking. It is like a frequency kind of question. So procedural justice and other things constitute the organizational justice, and which you have to be aware of. Again, whistleblowing is another concept, and it is mostly associated with the act. You should be knowing what it is. Okay. Next, when comes to HR, human resource planning, recruitment, selection, induction, training and development. These are truly the basic understanding kind of concepts. As well as you should be knowing what is recruitment, what is selection, what is the difference between training and development, and how job analysis is being done, what is job evaluation, what are all the types of job evaluation which is being carried now. These are the kind of things that you should be aware of. And trust me, if you get any questions from unit 2, if you get 5 or 6 questions, it is easily answerable. And if you have if the very best thing is, if you have attended your classes in your MBA, you can easily walk these 5 questions. That's how the questions will be. It will be very easy. And the thing is, you should not take a guess. If you are taking a guess, take an informed guess. Okay. So coming to unit 3 is about, again it is a continuation of human resource management. In this, the main topic will be of these three things, that is organized career planning. We have 2 to 3 theories in career planning and development you should be aware of, and balanced scorecard, which is very much important. And when it comes to balanced scorecard, there are certain theories in human resource management, the Harvard view and the scientific management, the Taylor's view, everything are there. No, they will be asking the chronology, and balanced scorecard will be one among them. Or else there will be a match the following question, where who proposed this theory, who proposed that theory. There will be given authors one side, and their propositions or their concepts the other side. You need to match. So always remember, do not leave the popular concepts. It is, management is very vast, and it is difficult to understand, and it is difficult to know all the concepts in management. But the popular concepts you should not leave. You should be knowing what it is. If it has any subdimensions, you should be knowing about the subdimensions. You should be knowing about the year. That is very much important. And I always make a point that I will have a separate paper which has the concept and the author and the year, because UGC is very much fond of chronology. If it finds that the paper should be difficult, it will make sure at least 4 or 5 chronological questions are there. And the chronological questions are also easy if you know the evolution. So always work on the evolution and work on the concepts. Not all the concepts, at least the major concepts in every unit. Okay. Next is organizational development and change. We have 2 to 3 theories in that. You should be very much careful. And talent management, you should be knowing HR analytics or AI that is being used. Recently, UGC is like, what are all the tools used by the students for drawing? What are all the tools that's being used for calculating? These kind of questions are more. So make sure, if at all any AI HR analytics apps is there, or any website is much more important or much more used, then you should be aware of those topics, those website names, and why it is being used. Like example, Workday, why Workday is used, or why HireView is used. This kind of questions. Okay. Next is work-life balance and industrial relations and disputes. In this, you should be knowing about the acts. Don't go in detail. Getting into detail is very much difficult. If you have time, you can go in detail, or else at least you should be knowing about the grievance cells, and then collective bargaining, types of collective bargaining, types of negotiation, and Industrial Dispute Act, the Wages Act, Bonus of Payment Act, Maternity Act. These kind of things you should be knowing. And the Compensation Management and Gratuity Act and Compensation Act. These are the things you should be knowing, the basics. If you have time and if you have finished everything, then you can go interior to this the subsections and everything, and you can read. Or else you should be knowing the basics. Last time there was a question where they asked, if canteen needs to be put up in a manufacturing or in any organization, what is the number of people, mandatory number of workers should be there. Again, there is a mandatory number of workers for having a first aid, having a restroom, everything. So these numbers are very much factual. So have it, and keep on reiterating, revisit those numbers, because they are very easy questions. Your competitor who is sitting next to you will be cracking it easily if they have studied. So don't take chance in those things. Okay. Next. Okay, coming back, in unit 4 we have accounting principles, and it constitutes part of management accounting and the other part of financial management. In these things there are certain topics, they are very easy, you can fetch you marks like a lump sum. At the same time, for a non-account student or non-commerce background student, it's very difficult to get into the flow or get into the concept. For me it is very difficult. So like managerial economics, I make sure every week I go and revisit these concepts. I won't go deeper into it, but I make sure that I knew the basics. Those concepts include leverage, three types of leverage, the concept of EBIT and EPS, and break even point, and the three types of break even, how it is achieved. Next is capital structure theory and budgeting and zero based budgeting. Always there will be a question on budgeting and capital structure in any one form. Okay. And next, on the other side, you should be knowing about cost variance analysis. Okay. You should be knowing what it is and how it is. In accounting principles, there are around I think around 7 or 8 theories are there. Those principles you should be knowing, golden rule you should be knowing, and ratio analysis, fund flow and DuPont analysis. I mean all the analysis you should be knowing, ratio analysis. Then fund flow and cash flow, you should be aware of the what you call that blueprint. There would be one kind, no, these are the things that needs to be there in the debit side, there should be a credit side, it's a kind of pharma will be there. You should be aware of those things. And again, balance sheet, profit and loss, and trade, those things you should be knowing the performa of everything. And this, if you are a commerce background, or if you are from a regular background in commerce, or if you know that if you have taken accounts in your +1 and +2, it will be easy for you, because this is very they will be asking numbers based question, assumption based question, as well as theory question. There were times where almost 10 to 15 questions were from the accounting principle, that is unit 4, and financial management, that is unit 5. So make sure you read the important topics which I have said. If you are not from the commerce background, make sure at least you knew the topics and revisit then and there. Trust me, the questions will be easy. The thing is, we tend to forget. The people from non-commerce or non-accounts background tend to forget what it is. That's how we lose the marks. Okay. So we have finished unit 5. Next is unit 6. In unit 6, it is easy, and I love unit 6 because it is always, I tend to work with the industry and I get the examples from the industry. So it will be very interesting for me. So strategic management, you should be knowing what is vision, mission, how it differs, everything you should be knowing. And for analysis, pest, Porter's analysis, resource based view, and value chain analysis. Every single analysis which is being put up here is very important. Trust me, if you have read along with the industry example, and if you have worked out at least 4 or 5 examples per analysis, it is easy and you won't forget till your career. It is very easy. Again, the other thing comes is SWOT analysis, BCG, GE business model, Ansoff matrix, and other things. These are some of the interesting topics of management, because I came from a non commerce background. So I found then HR, I found these topics very much easy and very much interesting. Okay. And another thing is retrenchment, integration, diversification. Now that the industry is facing layoff due to AI, industry is facing mergers or acquisitions due to AI, be careful about these topics, because these topics are always confusing if you don't know the concept behind it. there are chances that they will give an example that the company A gets the company B. So what kind of layoffs, or what kind of vertical or horizontal integration is being done, or diversification is being done. There can be example oriented questions, so be careful. And again, these concepts, when you associate with the current industry, it will be easy, and there is no need for mugging up or memorizing it. This side we have McKinsey 7S. You should be knowing what is hard S and what is soft S. It is a pakka easy question, and you cannot afford to leave that 1 mark. Okay. Coming to marketing management, there are two issues with marketing management. It is easy from one side, and again, it at times it finds confusing, especially the pricing strategies and positioning, segmentation, because when they give a example and when they ask you to segment, I feel confused sometimes. So make sure that you are very confident and you are well aware of these topics. Customer value, and you should start from that need, want and demand, and also the concept and orientation, product concept, consumer concept, specialty product, production concept. These concepts are very easy, and always go with the examples. That's how you can easily crack them, because you have to write you have to crack 100 questions with the very minimal amount of time, and that too there is no negative marks. So we tend to spend chances in more questions, like we get stuck in one question and we tend to spend more time. So be very careful and work on it. Next is product and pricing decision. Again, it is very important. New product development, and always remember, hands of matrix and product and other things, new product development and everything comes along with the hands of matrix, and as well as BCG matrix. So you can correlate and you can study. Mostly in UGC net, I always correlate organization behavior with HR, strategic management with marketing, because the subjects will be easy. I can correlate and I can get it, and I can understand easily. So I always tend to correlate. So try to combine 2 or 3 subjects so that it will be easy. Okay. Next is unit 7, and it is a continuation of marketing management. Here, this consumer buying and industrial buying behavior is very much important. We have around 8 to 9 or 12 behaviors, I guess, if I'm not wrong, 10 or 12, I'm not sure, but it's more than 5 behaviors. So it's very easy, and if you are reading in the first time, it's very difficult it will be very difficult, and it will be very confusing. If you have not studied, have a look on this and make sure you understand and you mug it up, because the concepts are almost similar in 2 or 3 models, but the way they have aligned, the chronologically they have aligned, or what they wanted to be very specific in one concept, how it differs from the other. These kind of things are very much confusing. So at least read 2 or 3 times before you are attempting this question. And again, brand management, you should be very careful about equity, brand name, brand extension and loyalty. These are very simple concepts and well-known concepts, but the definition tend to differ, so make sure you have this. Logistics and supply chain management, always UGC goes with that the integration and the connectivity and everything. So have a check on that. Actually this I will be like I will type this and I will take it from IGNO notes. Mostly I go with IGNO notes, and I will be looking on that. I will have skim through, that's all, and I don't concentrate more on this, because my area of specialization was not logistics and supply chain, but I know the basic roots of supply chain and basic models of supply chain. Okay. And the next comes the service marketing. Again, it is kind of elective, as well as we see it in marketing management. So very be careful, and there is no much difference. If you know the concept, you can work with it. Again, retail marketing, type of retail outlets and type of buyers. There are some similar 10 to 15 types of buyers are there. you should be knowing the name and how they have come up with that name. Okay, you should be knowing that. Next is emerging trends of marketing, green marketing. Again in HR we had green HR, so you have a note on it and you can skim through what it is. If you know if you have a basic understanding, or if you are following the blogs that is being put up in the management or business websites, it's more than enough. Again, marketing mix and product mix, that is more important, you should be knowing about it. Next is unit 8. Unit 8 is very difficult. At the same time it is very easy as well, because here along with understanding you need to know, you need to have some memorization also. First I will finish the quality management. Quality management, I will always suggest go by topic, because every topic you should be knowing that. Scheduling, what is scheduling, what are all the topics, what is the loading, sequencing, monitoring, ERP planning, ERP modules. Go topic by topic. Quality, what is quality circle, what is case, and what is benchmarking, what is Six Sigma. Again, don't leave this topic, because at least you could get at least, and I'm repeating the at least because 4 or 5 questions there will be there. And I could in one point of time I saw there was a question in Kaizen. Next what is in benchmarking. Again 2 questions were from the Six Sigma. So make sure that you read it, you understand it, and if you don't understand, at least have that mnemonics kind of thing for you to crack this. Okay, here coming to operation management, you should be knowing the facility, location, layout, design, and again there are 4 or 5 types of facility and location, and how the analysis being done, everything you should be knowing. And here the basic understanding along with the formula that and the ABC method, everything, vario method, everything you should see, and then only you should go. Okay, coming to the statistics, again concepts, measures of central tendency, dispersion, probability distribution, especially Bayes theorem, binomial, Poisson, and normal. Then by the Poisson, you should be knowing what is normal distribution, what is Bell's curve, and everything. Data collection, sampling, hypothesis, correlation, and regression. Again, it's a repetition from the paper 1. Paper 1 you have again a separate unit for statistics. Again it is a repetition. If you have studied in one paper, I know this pakka, you can leave. It's like repetition only. So but don't leave the whole topic itself. Okay, data collection, questionnaire method, interview method, and every other things you should be knowing. What is hypothesis, what is null hypothesis, what is alternate hypothesis, what are all the type of error associated with the hypothesis, and why chi-square or t, z, z or f is being done. These things you should be knowing. And so in correlation analysis you should be able to know what is spark as well as the Pearson correlation, because these are the concepts like whoever starts UGC net, they will be covering these concepts like case and Six Sigma, quality management, these kind, facility location, and the type of the problems that is associated with the facility location, and statistics, again that benchmarking, balanced scorecard, Ansoff matrix, pest analysis. These are the kind everyone will attempt. So don't take a chance by leaving it. And if you at least, if you don't have time, see the PPTs or the videos which you have, or which is available in the net. Be at least before entering the exam hall. So unit 10, I could not do the unit 9 because I was working on unit 9, but since the time is running, I just skipped it. Unit 10 is all about entrepreneurship. In entrepreneurship, you need to know 3-4 things. That is more than enough, because UGC is very much straightforward in entrepreneurial, that kind of subject. One is theories. We have 5 to 6 theories associated with Knight's theory, Young's theory, and then diffusion theory, innovation diffusion theory, Gandhian theory. There are some of 8 or 9 theories are there, so you should be knowing about it. Again, you should be knowing about the banks associated with the entrepreneurship. What is MSME? In case of MSME, usually the government changes the rules, that is yeah, the crores related to it, the turnover and the capital that is being put. They keep on changing the eligibility criteria. You should be knowing about it. And feasibility concept. What are all the feasibility testing? And innovation in business, you give a basic glimpse or you can skim through. Again, women entrepreneurship, these concepts you can skim through, but don't leave the entrepreneurial theories, sickness in small industries and how the rehabilitation is being done. That is another important concept. And business plan and feasibility, that is another important. Another main concept that is associated is with chapter 10 is purely factual, that is the evolution of banks associated with the who are associated in lending loans to an entrepreneur. We have IDBI, we have ICICI, the earlier ICICI, we have SIDBI. These kind of banks are very much particular in lending loans to the entrepreneurs, NABARD for the farmers, these kind of banks. So the evolution of banks and the evolution of government schemes associated with that, they are, UGC is very much also interested in these things. So we have, now that it's been half an hour, we have covered around 9 subjects and the 9 units. In 10th unit, it is all about data and management information system. Basically, they will ask questions from the AI, business analytics and other things, and the questions will be mainly minimal and it will be easy because you will also study the data and the computer in the paper 1. So you can correlate. So in the syllabus overview of management, important points are: do not leave the main subjects or main topics which I have said, because my conclusion is from around 10 years of paper, that is 10 sets of paper, that is 5 years of paper. They keep on repeating some questions. If ants of matrix is being asked in June 2025, another form of new product development is being asked in December 2025. They don't leave that topic. At least 1 or 2 questions from that topic, not directly but indirectly they will be asking. Okay. And another thing, do concentrate on evolution, chronology and year, because UGC is very fond, at least one question you will get from that, evolution and chronology. And another question is author and the author or the person and their proposed concept. At times they correlate with evolution, because if you know 1 or 2 matches correctly, you can match the entire thing. That's how the UGC goes, and it doesn't go with the difficulty level of UPSC. So make sure that you know the basics, and also be careful. If you are not a accounts or a commerce student, you should be very much strong in the other part. If you are okay with the accounts and commerce, the kind of attention you are going to give to other parts can differ, no problem. But if you're not from those two background, like me, I am not from a accounts or commerce background, but I made sure the financial management was very easy for me. I keep studying, and accounts management accounting, I got into only important topics. I didn't go beyond, because I don't want to confuse myself. So I didn't go beyond the necessary topics. Again, managerial economics, accounts and financial management, they are volatile in nature. Make sure you revisit them on and off. Okay guys, and this is with this this is the syllabus overview of UGC NET 2026 and for the management studies. In next upcoming videos, we will be seeing important topics in person in relation to each topic from every unit. So stay tuned and like, share and subscribe, and press the bell button to get more information and more videos related to UGC NET. Do subscribe.